Before we get into anything, let me ask you this. Have you ever grabbed a tool thinking it would make your RV life easier, only to realize halfway into the job that it's missing a simple feature you actually need? Well, today I'm going to save you from that. I'm going to show you a handful of tools that actually matter on the road. The ones you'll genuinely use, not the ones that look cool on a shelf. These here are PX cinch clamp tools. One of them costs around $65 from a well-known plumbing brand. The other one is roughly half the price, still from a recognized name, just not as popular. And honestly, when you line them up, they look pretty much the same. What surprised me is that the cheaper one performs just as well. Plus, it includes a feature the pricier tool doesn't offer at all. If you've ever had to work on your RV plumbing while traveling, you know the basics you usually keep with you. Extra fittings, half-inch cinch clamps, a cutter for the pipe, and, of course, a clamp tool. A lot of RVers use the SharkBite clamp tool, and it's solid, but there's one drawback. It doesn't remove cinch clamps. So if you're replacing a fitting, you need something that can cut the old clamp off cleanly. You can use heavy-duty cutting pliers, but let's be honest, it's awkward, especially in tight spaces. A tool specifically made to cut cinch clamps is just so much easier. Some versions are only cutters, designed for one job and one job only. But there are also combo tools that both crimp and cut depending on the adjustment you select. One of the newer tools I picked up functions as both a crimper and a cutter. Set the dial to one position, and it tightens a clamp. Flip the setting, lock it into position, and now it cuts cinch rings. Just make sure you cut across the band perpendicular to where it was crimped. That way it releases cleanly. And since it's a 2-in-1 tool, it saves weight and space, which is always a win inside an RV. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going over 7 tools that RVers actually use, the practical ones you'll be happy you packed when something goes wrong on the road. This is not a giant, overwhelming list. These are affordable, useful tools that solve real problems. Let's start with lights. Flashlights are great, and most of us already keep one on board. Work lights are also handy, but you constantly have to reposition them. A simple, budget-friendly headlamp solves that instantly. Wear it, look at what you're doing, and your hands stay completely free. It's one of those small things that makes a big difference. A headlamp stored within arm's reach can save time and reduce risk. Now, let's talk about screws. You're going to see a lot of square drive screws in your RV called Robertson screws. They're extremely common inside RVs and are becoming more common outside too. If you don't have the proper bit, sometimes a flathead will work, or you might find a combo Phillips/Robertson screw. But honestly, it's better to just grab a set of Robertson bits. They slip much less than Phillips bits, and the most common size for RVs is a number 2. I've personally never seen anything other than a number 2 used, but to be safe I bought a set that included all sizes from 0 to 4. They're cheap, and they fit any drill. A rubber mallet is another tool people forget until they suddenly need it. If you're changing a tire, a mallet can help loosen a wheel that's stuck on the hub. If your wheel chock wedges too deeply under the tire, a mallet pops it loose. If you have the space, storing tools that work for both your RV and tow vehicle is smart, especially since you're often driving the tow vehicle without the trailer. Channel locks, also known as adjustable jaw pliers, are incredibly useful. Tightening water hose fittings, dealing with old campground water bibs, adjusting corroded battery terminals, holding plumbing fittings, the list goes on. But 2 places you should never use channel locks are the propane cylinder service valve and the AC fitting on the pigtail. Those should always turn by hand. Now, I love getting hands-on with repairs, but anytime I'm using grease, I wear nitrile gloves. Some petroleum-based products can be harmful with long-term skin exposure. And if you're boondocking or camping without a water hookup, there's no reason to waste your fresh water washing grease off your hands. Plus, I'm not a fan of greasy residue going into the gray tank. It can stick to the walls, interfere with sensors, and cause drainage issues. And finally, let's talk torque wrenches. Some RVers will tell you they've never torqued their wheels in years and never had a problem. That's great, until the one time something goes wrong. A torque wrench prevents both under-tightening and over-tightening. Under-tightening can cause wobbling and loosening. Over-tightening can stretch threads, damage alloy wheels, and make removing the wheel on the roadside extremely difficult. Uneven torque across lug nuts can even lead to warping or cracking. Make sure the torque wrench you buy can handle the specs for both your tow vehicle and your RV. If you want to go further, Get one that can also torque suspension components and shank bolts, which may require much higher values. Most people won't check those often, but it's still good to have the option. And that's the list. Simple, affordable tools that actually help when you're traveling, camping, or doing repairs on the road.